In the age of Sigmar, warriors from across the realms set out at the heads of newly forged armies. Vampiric overlords, monstrous green-skinned brutes, and aspiring lords of chaos, and more besides, forged their own path across countless battlefields. And as they win mighty battles, quest for long-lost treasures, and seek to unlock the arcane mysteries of the realms, their legends begin to grow. This is Path to Glory. Our scenario today is the decisive battle. This is a third battle plan inside the core rulebook for Warhammer Age of Sigmar for Path to Glory. Now, we have deployment with the Defender beginning, and we don't use any faction terrain here, for the Raider at least. Now, victory conditions for this mean we have to claim their skulls. Each time an enemy player destroys an enemy unit, they score a victory point for every 100 points that was destroyed. 390 points would equate to 3 points. And hold the center gives you a victory point for controlling the center of the table, and take the flanks as well, points for controlling the flanks that aren't in enemy territory or friendly territory. In today's game, I'm going to be playing with Urinin's Thunderbolts, the Stormcast Eternals. I'm going for the Thunderhead Host as my battle formation. This gives me the Synchronized Strikes passive ability, where I get to add +1 to the hit rolls for combat attacks made by friendly warrior chamber units, while they're wholly within 12 inch of any friendly non-hero, non-beast Stormcast Eternal units that don't have the warrior chamber keyword. Having a new quest for this round, I have learned Ancient Scriptures, where each time a friendly priest is given 4 or more ritual points and gain a quest point. Once I've got 5 quest points in total, I can complete the quest and get a new prayer for myself. Speaking of laws, my spell lore consists of Thundershock, prayer lore is Blessed Weapons, and my manifestation lore contains the Soul Snare Shackles. My first regiment is led by my general, Lord Celestus Uranan, the Lord Imperator. He's from the path of the leader and has the aspiring rank of tactical acumen, which gives him a heroic trait as well for Envoy of the Heavens, and the artifact of power Mirror Shield. This all combines to make him a really solid support character that can't be targeted by ranged attacks when he's too far away. For units, I then have Halla Bladebringer, my Knight Quester, with the artifact of power, the Quicksilver Draft. The Blades of Farstars, which is a unit of Quester Soulsworn along the path of the Redeemer with the aspiring rank ability Herald of the Tempest. I then also have the Council of Lightning, a unit of Stormcoven, and the Spine of Dracothian, a unit of Vindictors. Regiment number 2 is then led by Asta the Watcher, my Lord Veritan, who has the artifact of power, the Null Pendant. For units, I then have the Hounds of the Storm, a unit of Gryph-hounds as well. Regiment number 2 is then led by Asta the Watcher, my Lord Veritan, who has the artifact of power, the Null Pendant. For units, I then have the Hounds of the Storm, a unit of Gryph. Angus is playing with Bolag's Glut Mob today, the Ogor Mawtribes force in our campaign. He has the Prophets of the Gulping God as his battle formation, which gives him the Master Butcher's passive ability, where he just adds +1 to casting rolls for friendly Ogor Mawtribe wizards. His quest is Master Magical Lore. Each time he makes a casting roll of 8+ for a wizard, he gains a quest point, and once he's gained 3 quest points, he'll get to add an extra spell to his spell lore. Speaking of lores, his spell lore currently consists of just Troggoth Guts, his prayer lore of Pulverizing Hailstorm, and his manifestation lore of Ravnak's Gnashing Jaws. His first regiment is led by his general, Bolag Frostbelcher, the Ogre Tyrant. Along the path of the Devout, thanks to the heroic trait Touch the Everwinter, making this model a priest, he has the aspiring rank ability Focused Meditation, which allows him to start with some additional points already in his prayers, and the artifact of power Gruesome Trophies. Meanwhile, for units, he then has a Karga's Iron Guts, which is a unit of Iron Guts along the path of the Defender with the aspiring rank ability Hardened Resolve, and Gruffgud's Gluttons, some Ogre Gluttons, again along the path of the Defender with the aspiring rank ability Hardened Resolve as well. His second regiment is just a single hero, which is Goth Spittlemore the Butcher, with the artifact of power, the Fang of Gur. And his third regiment, lastly, is Gruffcurd Greasefeast, an Ogre Firebelly. And so we are all deployed on the table for the Stormcast. I've got my Gryphounds, Lord Veritan, the Lord Imperator, and Knight Quester on this flank, while the Vindictors and the Storm Coven go on the opposite. For the Ogres, they've then got all of their models, the Butcher, the Tyrant, and the Firebelly all at the back there, with the Iron Guts and the Ogre Gluttons at the front. In reserve for the Stormcast, I do have my Quester Soulsworn. Now, first turn, the Stormcast did finish deploying first, so they are going to elect to actually take the first turn for the game. So, let's go into that. Thank you all for watching today's video. If you'd like to help the channel grow some more, why not consider joining up to our YouTube members? This important feature here allows us to continue to produce more and more content of the various games you like to see on the channel. It also allows you to put in requests and ask what you would like to see more of on the channel in the future. And so, just before the game begins as well, Angus did roll for his bonus D3 chancing points on the Tyrant, so he gets 2 to begin with. I'm going to start with the Storm Coven, attempt to cast the Soul Snare Shackles, so I need a 6th cast. That is a 6. And so you need a 7 to stop the Soul Snare Shackles coming out. That is not. We'll then go for a chancing roll on our Lord Veritant, who will chant 2. That'll be it for the hero phase for the Stormcast Eternals. So we'll go into movement unless you have a counter spell to do. And so magical intervention is going to happen. You're going to do a chanting roll with the Tyrant for D6. 6 more points. -1. So that does take the Tyrant up to 7 chanting points. Anything you wish to do with that?
Nope.
Nope. And so we'll go into Stormcast movement. And so, movement-wise, we did use an at the double to ensure the Gryphounds can get wholly within 12 of this corner. We then made a run with a roll of 6 up the top corner to get the Vindictors. Our characters just go behind the lines to ensure they're not getting solo charged by any Ogres. And the Storm Coven move in range, ready for some shooting. So, do we have a redeploy for anyone?
Nope.
And so, Storm Coven are going to target the Iron Guts. They are the only thing in range, so we are going to be 3s to hit, sorry. And so, we are 3s to hit. Oh, just 2. And 4s to wound. Better.
Plus save.
So, 6 plus save. Nope, so D3 damage for 2.
Alright, and then the wards against all of them.
And so, 2 6-up wards. Due to the Tyrant being nearby, and they take 2. Alrighty, so with that, that's my shooting done. There are no charges to do. So the end of the round, the Stormcast do have units within both of the corners. I've got no one within the centre though, so I am just going to score the 2 points. Just of note as well, the Iron Guts Defender ability, they get to heal 1 at the end of any turn, so they heal 1 of those points of damage as well. And so, into Ogor Mawtribes turn 1. The hero phase.
Actually, I'll start with the...
And so you're going to start with a Firebelly, attempting to cast a spell.
Yeah.
So the Firebelly will attempt to cast Ravnak's Gnashing Jaws.
So 7 plus 1.
That is a 7, 8. Alright, so I am going to attempt to try and Dispel. I do need a 9 on dice to Dispel. That is a 9. So with that casting of 8, even though I Dispelled it, because you got that, you're actually going to complete your quest now in the campaign of Master Magical Law, so you get a new spell at the end of the game. Which is pretty cool, but we go on to the rest of your hero phase. Alright, you're going to attempt Troggoth Guts on the Iron Guts.
Just need the 5,
Yep.
plus 1.
That's an 8, and that is cast. So you're going to get your D3 heal from Troggoth Guts. You heal the damage I did on them. And so you've got a chanting roll for the Tyrants. Got 5 more points. And so in response, I'm going to do Magical Intervention. The dudes over there, the Storm Coven, they are going to cast their War Scroll spell. So let's see what we can get. 6. So no, that is a fail to cast on their War Scroll spell. So we now go into Ogre movement. And so movement for the Ogres, you had pretty much your entire army to run, hasn't it? Everything has ran. Your Firebelly,
Tyrant and Iron Guts did not.
Oh, sorry, Tyrant and Iron Guts did not. Your Firebelly did though. You've then had your Butcher and your Gluttons run over here. I'm going to do a redeploy with the Gryphounds. So Gryphounds redeploy 3 inches. So we redeploy down there with the Griffhounds, turning you into an 8-inch charge with the Gluttons now, instead of that 5. And so we go into your shooting, which I think is... Oh, you've got your Tyrant, he can shoot. And so no charges yet, at least for the center. You've got no shooting as your Ogre Pistols are out of range. So you are going to go charges here. You've got an 8-inch needed for both.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
Alright, so the Gluttons are going to be the first unit to charge. They need an 8. That is a 6. That is not enough. Are you using your reroll here?
Yes.
Yep. Gluttons get the reroll. That is 7. No. That will not see them in.
No.
And so you're not going to choose to charge the Butcher in alone. Yes, he probably could kill the Griffhounds, but if he doesn't, there's every chance the Griffhounds spike in.
Because how many?
And so that will be the end of the turn for the Ogres. So that means they will control the center uncontested, but that'll be the only point they score for the round. And so with that, we're going to go priority for round 2. The Ogres are the underdog, and they rolled a 1. So they will break ties on the 1. I got a 1.
Alright.
And so the Ogres are going to take a double, which means the Stormcast actually turn into the underdog, because there's not a big enough deficit. So we will get to roll on the underdog table. There's a 1. And so I get to pick a friendly unit to make -1 to wound. I am definitely going to pick the Storm Coven. Alright, so we're going to go into Ogor Mawtribes turn 2. Alrighty, so kicking off, we're going to try and summon Ravnak Gnashing Jaws with a Fire Belly.
Yeah, it's only a 6 on the dice.
It's a 9. So with that +1, that makes it 10 total.
11 on the dice.
I will try and dispel that. So need 11. That is not 11. And so Ravnaks come out. You are also going to attempt to get rid of the Soul Snare Shackles. Right, so you are going to try. You need a 7 on your banishment roll. No, the Soul Snare Shackles will stay. So last thing in the hero phase, you're actually going to keep your Pulverizing Hailstorm, or at least your prayer points, in your back pocket, because you are just ever so shy out of the getting like all my hero and the unit there. So I'm going to go for a counter spell. Going with the Storm Coven. No, ooh, that is a miss. So they're going to do D3 models to themselves for 1. So with that, we're going to go into Ogre Mawtribes movement. Alright, so start of the Ogre shooting phase. After the movement, you can see the Ogres have just pushed in on both attacks. So the Fire Belly is going to shoot the Storm Coven. Needs 2s to hit. So 1 in there, I like that. Then needs 4s to wound, thanks to the -1. 2 out. And so 3 2-up saves, thanks to all-out defense. Fail 1.
2 damage on 4+.
So the Tyrant will be shooting his pistols next, hitting on 4+. Hits once.
Yep.
Wounding on...
3s goes to 4s.
3's going to 4. Wounds.
1 range, so base save.
3-up save. No. And so D3 damage for 2. And so we go into charges. Where do you wish to charge first?
Are there at least
and so the Ravnak Gnashing Jaws is going to attempt a charge first. He needs a 9. No. The Iron Guts will then be charging. 10
inches.
Alrighty, so your Iron Guts get in and you've got a charge for your Tyrant. That's a 9. And the Tyrant gets in. And lastly, the Fire Belly gets in. And so, now, these guys both need a 3. Yes, they look like they're a little bit further, but technically the models are all down here. So the Gluttons are charging first. They're in. And the Butcher gets in as well. Alrighty, so now you've got your trampling charges. So the first one is going to be the Gluttons.
Yep, so D3, and you roll a 2+.
They do, 2 mortals.
Yep, 2 mortals.
Same goes for the Butcher. 1 mortal.
Yep, both D3.
And so the Fire Belly and the Iron Guts, you're just going to do them together because they're both 2+.
Yep. Nice.
So, well, that is the Storm Coven gone. So with that, you are going to go for a 3... Well, first of all, we now need to pick a fight. Alright, so you're going to activate the Gluttons, first of all, in the fight phase. Alrighty, so the Gluttons are going to attack. They need 4s to hit the Griffhounds.
Alright, I'm just going to fish it.
And then 2s to wound. And with no armor save, that is the Griffhounds gone. Do you have any other pile-ins you wish to do?
So,
your units that charged can have pile-ins. Alrighty, so the Iron Guts are piling in to the Knight Quester. Alrighty, so you're going to attack. I'm using all our defense here on the Quester. Hitting on 3s. And winning on 2s. And so the Quester needs 3-up saves. He fails 2.
3 damage.
Alrighty, so the Lord Imperator's going to attack back. We have 4 attacks. Might as well go all-out attack on him. He hits on 2s with crit auto wound. So auto wounds. Wounds on a 3. All of them. And so 4-up saves.
5, sorry.
5, sorry. 5-up saves. That is 1 dead Iron Gut. And so 4 6-ups.
Can I save one?
You save 2. So thanks to down to the Iron Guts, they are going to do another pile in and fight. And so 13 attacks now into the Imperator.
On 3+.
3s to hits. And 2s to wounds. So 4-up saves on the Imperator. And then
3 damage each.
Alright, now I need to pass 7 saves on the ward. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is not enough. And so that will be the end of the turn. You're going to score a point down here, taking you to 6. And you killed all the characters there as well. So we go into Stormcast turn 2. Right, so going into the Stormcast hero phase, I'm going to try and chant with the Lord Veritant behind there. It's 4. So I'm going to use the Heaven Sent ability where I can return one of my units with half strength back to the table with Stormcast infantry. Sorry, that is movement phase. So quickly before I end my hero phase, I'm going to go the finest hour on the Vindictors up there. That gives them +1 to wound and +1 save for the turn. So you are going to attempt to chant. So you do need to roll a d6 to begin with, even though you've got enough prayer points. Get enough. And so let's see how many mortals the Veritant's going to take. 3, 6. And so my only chance here is rolling a 4-up on my resistance roll. No. And that takes the Veritant down. Alrighty. So we have in movement, just our units move there. We are going to move the Vindictors. And so after we move the Vindictors up to the top corner there, bring back our Storm Coven and bring down the Quest of Soulspawn, we're going to go into shooting. And so we are 3s to hit. 3 hits. And 4s to wound with the Storm Coven. 1, -1, so on your base save, because you'll be getting cover.
5+.
No, d3 damage for 2.
Alright.
So we are going to go into charges. I need an 8-inch charge because I've come down from the heavens. I get +1 to my charges. So an 8-inch charge. No. Going to spend a CP to reroll. No. And so we will end the round there. And so we are going to go into, well, at the end of Stormcast, I do actually still score the point for the top there. And that'll be the end of the round. And so we are going to go into priority for the round, the Stormcast. So you got a 4, got a 1. Wow. And so the ogres are going to take the turn. The Stormcast will get to roll on the ability table. 4. So we go into Ogor Mawtribes turn 3 hero phase.
Alright.
You're going to attempt to heal the gluttons there.
So I need a 4 on the dice.
And you get it?
Yep.
D3.
So, yeah. You want to counter it?
So that just heals the wound on them. And then you're going to do a charging roll for the Tyrant. He gets 3. I'm then going to go with a magical interference from Storm Coven. 6, that is not enough to get what I wanted.
Yeah, -1.
No, that is a fail to cast. So, we will go into Ogor Mawtribes movements. So you've done your move with your characters, the Tyrant and the Iron Guts going over there. They're going to move in a sec, but you are just rolling the random movement with the Ravnax. for 10.
Okay.
So then we just have the Gluttons moving up as well with the Butcher in tow behind.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Storm Covenant are going to do a covering fire into the Gluttons.
Does this have red? I'm just what you
And so 4s to hit, 2 hits, and 4s to wound, nothing. And so charges. Alrighty, so you're going to go with the Gluttons. You need a 3. That gets them in.
Yeah.
Ravenak's Gnashing Jaws is then charging.
5 inches does that.
Alright, so the Iron Guts need a 7-inch charge into the Vindictors. That won't do it.
I think I'm going to re-roll.
Gonna spend a point to re-roll.
Yep.
That definitely won't do it.
No.
And so your Ogre Gluttons are going to start us off. They're going to go all-out attack.
Oh, sorry.
And so first of all, though, we do have the Gluttons on a 2+. They get 3.
3 more.
So you're going all-out attack. I will go all-out defense. And so 3s to hit.
Yep.
And 2s to wound. And so 3 up saves on the Quest of Soulsworn. Oh! That's not great.
2 damage each.
So that'll be what? How much is that? 4, 6, 12. And so the Storm Covenant going all out attack now. 2s to hit. And 3s to wound. That is going to be 4.
That's good.
So these are D3 damage each. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So
6s.
save 2, takes 5.
In case it's on half health now.
And so the Jaws is then going to attack the Storm Covenant back. 10 attacks. Hitting on 4s.
Yep. Hitting on 4s.
Hitting on 4s. Wounding on 2s. So 3.
Yep. 3 with 1 rend.
1 rend, so 4 up saves. Hey, fail 1.
2 damage.
Cool. And so the Quest of Soulsworn champion into the Gluttons. We are going to be needing 3s.
Mm-hmm.
And then 3s. 2 at -1, damage 2.
Alright, I think that's 6 up saves.
Pass 1 takes 2 damage.
Alright, so 1 damage.
So the Gluttons are going to feed. They're going to do D3 heal for 1. And it doesn't work, so it needs a 2+ to work. So,
they bite some metal.
Ogre turn, you're going to score the 2 points there.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to Stormcast turn 3. And so we're going to start by trying to banish the Ravenak's Gnashing Jaws.
Need 7.
Get it. Bye-bye.
Can I try and counter?
We're going to spend our last CP for a rally on the Storm Covenant, which will get them a model back. You're going to do a counterspell to Charm with the Tyrant. He gets 4 more points.
4 more points.
The Tyrant's just going to bank those. So we go into movement, and so we are going to do Finest Hour on the Storm Covenant. I've retreated out there. The Vindictors. We are. And so because the Ogres were within 12, we move the Vindictors out of there. And so we're going to go into shooting. And so Storm Coven will be needing 3s to hit. And 3s to wound, thanks to Finest Hour. 3 at -1.
There's a 3 6-ups on the Gluttons then. Oh my god.
D3 damage for 2.
Okay, so...
and then we're going to go into charges, and we're going to charge with the Storm Coven.
Alright.
And so the Storm Coven get in, they are 3 attacks apiece. You're going all out defense, so we need 3s. Oh dear god. Luckily 2s to wound though. Still roll a 1. That is 4 at -1, so 4 5-ups.
Yeah.
3d3 damage.
Ooh.
That is 7 damage.
7 damage.
And
cool.
so the Gluttons are hitting on 4s. And then wounding on 2s.
Yep.
And so 6 3-up saves. I fail 1, so
2 damage.
And so the Stormcast will gain no points for the turn at all. And so we go for priority in round 4. Today's video is sponsored by the Warhammer merch shop. Want to grab some merch for your favourite Warhammer army? You can use our affiliate link down below to grab your next purchase and help support the channel at the same time. So, Stormcast got a 1. Wow, you got a 2. So, at this point, with that priority roll, there's nothing I can do. I'm going to get table wiped. Or... Alrighty, so with the decision there, I am actually going to elect for a retreat for the Stormcast, because while I won't get any renown there because they're a replacement unit, the Quest, the Soulspawn, and the Vindictors will get extra renown. I just feel like I'm going to get tabled otherwise, so I might as well take the extra renown. In the aftermath of the game for Uranus Thunderbolts, I do gain 30 glory for taking part in the game, and I do get a single quest point for Learn Ancient Scriptures. Renown-wise, I don't gain too much over. Blades of Fast Stars going up to 13 almost gets them in place for another upgrade. Lord Cells Shiranen going to 8, and the Spines of Dracothian going to 7 as well, allowing them to get an aspiring rank ability. Now, I also get another model with a path contained, and that is Hallowed Bladebrinker, who's going along the path of the Tempest, taking the aspiring rank ability Strength of the Tempest, with Spine of Dracothian going along the path of the Defender and taking Steel Discipline. Bolang's Glut Mob will gain an extra 55 glory for the battle today. Now, their current quest, Master Magical Law, is completed by getting 3 quest points in total, and this is going to help them later. You're also going to get extra renown on a bunch of their models, Bolag Frostbelcher almost getting to his 2nd rank, and you're also getting Karka's Iron Guts going to the elite rank as well, getting onto 15 renown, and this will have the elite rank ability for their Path to the Defender as Unbreakable Formation. The reward here as well for completing the quest is the spell Blood Feast. Thank you all for watching. We hope this battle report was enjoyable for you, and if you did enjoy it, please go check out some of our others in the playlist on the channel. If you have any questions, please drop a comment down below, and while you're there, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our Discord server to check out all of our future wargaming content. Thank you all.